Kevin White. How are you doing?
Good. How are you?
Emma Ryan. How are you doing?
Great. Happy to be here.
Good. Guys, I'm glad to have you guys here with us. Wanted to have you guys come on here and just discuss some of the things that we talk about, some mental health, nutrition, performance. We've got it all here. First and foremost, we'll start with you guys. Where are you guys from? What do you do? Who are you? Just give us a quick rundown.
Love it. I'm Emma Ryan. I'm in Oklahoma City. From here. Grew up with you in Edmond. I'm a integrative nutrition health coach, and I also own a restaurant. So I'm in the food industry, but I also still work with clients at Kevin's office doing nutrition consulting.
Okay. Kev?
Before I get started into that, it feels like I'm at a high school reunion with you two here.
You kind of are.
Yeah, cool. I like it. Well, so yeah, I'm an emergency medicine physician by training originally. I got involved into integrative longevity, functional health over the past 10 years, opened up a practice about 3 years ago. And 3+ years ago. And that's what we do. We kind of look at patients' overall health and well-being in a much more intricate, detailed, down to the cellular level, really getting into it and for performance and longevity.
Yeah. I mean, obviously you guys know I'm an athlete, and so health and fitness those are the key words, right? Those are the things that we're really honed into, and to have you two here to discuss these things we couldn't have any better people than you two. So, talking about how we first met, obviously you and I went to school together, but
Yep.
he and I, do you know how we met?
Yes.
Oh my gosh.
Send me a picture of y'all.
So we met, for you guys that are listening, right? So Kevin and we met, I think last week, just doing so it was the weekend, Saturday, and on the weekend I try to get some kind of either pool, yoga, hills, just do kind of like a hybrid workout. So Monday through Friday, standard workouts. Saturday, try to get out and do something active. On Saturday, we were out, and the plan was to go run these hills. There's this huge hill here in Oklahoma. It's one of the biggest hills I've ran. I don't know you had never been? Mm-mm. One of the biggest hills I've ran, but it's a huge hill. We're out there. We've got a couple people out there, and one of my friends that I just met, honestly, he's just, he's hey doc, and he's just yelling at some random guy. I'm like, dude, who are you yelling at, right? And here he comes, swole, running down. I'm like, who is this guy? Where did you find this guy at? And so they start talking, and we're just walking. We're walking to the hill. I'm not paying any mind. I'm just walking, getting ready to run this hill, and they're talking, and they start talking, and I hear doctor. I'm like, wait, what? You're a doctor? And then we started, just chopping it up, and he ends up running the hills with us. That's what happened.
That's
and so we ended up running 10 hills, came out there, got a great workout in. It was just a good time. And so got to talk to him a little bit, and we talked sports and performance, and I wanted to get him on here and just pick his brain a little bit. I think that as athletes, it's, sports and performance is the thing that we do. So, bringing a qualified professional in here to talk about how the body works and how, performance is, and have nutrition and all that stuff, I think that's great. So
I'd like to know who made it to the top of the hill faster.
he did.
Shut up.
He did. He beat me. That's who made it.
How'd you let that happen?
Look at him. What do you mean how'd I let that happen? Look at him.
No, I don't know about that.
Golly.
That is hysterical.
It almost didn't happen because I'd gone to the gym and I thought, I just feel like I need to, do some hills.
He did come from the gym, and I'm thinking, so while I'm running the hills, I'm thinking, why is he here right now? That's all I was thinking. I'm like,
he got his workout
yeah,
in.
I'm like, who just comes and decides like on his way out to run hills, know? And so I was like, man, I like this guy. I'm like, all right, maybe we can be friends.
Hysterical.
Yeah.
So how did you guys meet?
That is so funny.
Tell me about that. How'd you guys meet?
Well, so when he was opening his practice, was it a consultant?
Yeah, I had a consultant, and I'll set you
Yeah.
up for this, but I had a consultant. Whenever you're starting a practice, I just need help orchestrating all that. So I got a consultant from out in California who kind of helped me structure, and they said, you need a lifestyle person. You need a nutritionist on that front. And I said, that's great, but I don't think Oklahoma has those kind of people.
Right.
Out in California, whatever. But so she gave me some names of people who had gone down that path and were good. And there were a few that just didn't resonate. And then I checked out this one's website and I just cold called her. I just said,
really?
Hey, I'm, you want to meet me? And so we met at Evoke for coffee.
Yeah.
And I got her whole story and we talked for,
hours probably.
2 or 3 hours just visiting with this one. And it was great.
Funny.
Yeah.
So I was like, we should have recorded this because she told me her whole story. And it's like, you should write a book.
And you guys have a podcast as well.
Yes. Yeah.
Okay. And that's nutrition and
the Daily Apple. Yes.
The Daily Apple?
Yeah.
Where can we get that at?
Everywhere you find your pods.
Okay. Yeah. The Daily Apple.
Yeah.
Spotify, Apple, all that jazz.
Yeah, we'll link that. Okay. So explain to me what it is that you do first, Emma.
So, like at his practice, or
just in general. Well, and then we'll talk about. I know you have you own a restaurant as well.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So we'll get into that. So just walk us down.
So before I ever met Dr. White, and before I opened Plant too, I was just working with people full time for one-on-one health coaching.
Okay.
I was doing some corporate plans. Like there'd be some companies that would say, "Hey, we want to come in and have someone, teach 300 of our employees how to eat healthier and things like that." So I would go in and speak or give cooking classes and stuff like that. But 99% of my work was just one-on-one client work, working with people. And I only work with people for 6 months at a time. That was kind of my rule because you can't change something overnight. You know what I mean? Anybody can follow a plan for 30 days.
Right.
But it's, okay, what happens when life happens? What happens when something stressful happens? That's when they fall off. Mm-hmm. So I only worked with people for 6 months at a time. And that's kind of shifted now, at least at his practice. We do things a little bit differently. But yeah, I mean, mainly nutrition and food, but a lot comes with the way we eat, right? How we eat is super emotional. Not everybody realizes that when they're eating, they're coping with something. Mm-hmm. And so I always tell people, the first few weeks is going to be fun. And then the next couple of months is going to be really tough. Because when you stop coping by food, everything you've just been kind of sitting on, like all of those emotional triggers and traumas and things like that start to come up. And then the mental health and everything kind of falls into that. So
now, how does diet affect what it is that you do? How do you see the people's diet when they come in and see you and then you kind of direct them to her? What kind of people are you directing to her and why?
Everybody.
Everybody sees her. Everybody that comes to you sees her.
Yeah,
just
everybody.
Kind of like
it's part of the whole deal. Okay, yeah. And people who come to us, they're.
Now, give me a second. Sorry, I don't mean to cut you off. Who is coming to you and why?
They're coming to us because they're different. They're different people, but they want to optimize their health. Okay. They want to optimize their performance. Some people are athletes. Some people are just, the 40-somethings that are like, hey, I've got my financial house in order. I need to get my health in order because I don't want to age like my father or my grandfather did. I want to be active in my 70s and 80s. So they see it like an investment. They see it like planning for retirement. They want to age really well. So that's kind of our
and I mean, diet, obviously, when you're talking about aging, right?
Yeah.
What are we doing as far as intake and diet to kind of slow that down? You can reverse aging. You can't reverse aging, but what is it that we're doing to slow it down, to stay younger?
Yeah, 100%. It makes a huge difference. I mean, when people don't eat, if you can get someone just to avoid processed food, the amount of junk that's in anything that comes in a package is crazy. And that puts so much stress on your digestive system, on everything. So yeah, I mean, anytime you can get someone to eat more real food and from the earth, it's going to make a huge difference in how they age, what their skin looks like, their immune system, all of that.
So how are we staying young with you? So we've got the diet. But hold on. What are we? One sec. Hold on. What are we eating though? What kind of diet are you telling? Like, what is your? Definitely
plant forward. I can't put everyone, like, as much as I, personally, I have my own beliefs around food.
Which are what?
Plant-based, 100%.
Plant-based? What does that include? What does that not include?
So that does not include anything from a package. That does not include highly processed animal meat. Okay. That does not include dairy products. That does not include...
Now, are you seeing a lot of people who... Do you see a lot of people who are eating plant-based but aren't healthy? Eating packaged plant foods,
not so much anymore.
The McVegan, what do you call it?
Okay, so here's the thing. If someone comes to me and they say I'm plant-based, 9 times out of 10, they are doing a pretty good job. If they come to me and they say I'm a vegetarian or a vegan, that's where I've got to like ask some more questions. I'm like, okay, but like, so what are we eating?
Yeah.
Because typically what I'm seeing now is like there is a trend. People aren't using the term vegan anymore.
Right.
You know what I mean? And it's because I think it's so easy to be a junk food vegan.
Right. And that's the thing is even with me being plant-based, I mean, I hate saying plant-based. I hated saying vegan. I hated saying vegetarian.
Yeah.
I eat because I want to perform well.
Yes.
I want to optimize my performance. I want to stay young. I want to look good. I want, that's why I'm eating the way I'm eating. Right. And a lot of people get to coining the term, oh, I'm vegan. Well, you could be vegan and eat Oreos all day. Everybody, Oreos are vegan. That's not, you shouldn't be eating. I don't care if you're vegan or not.
Yeah.
Right.
Totally.
Right. So 100%. Now, what are we doing to stay young? We're eating a plant-based diet.
Yeah.
What are we doing? If I was to come to you and say, hey, I want to optimize my performance, what's the regimen? What are you doing for me?
So the biggest thing with that diet.
As an athlete.
Oh, okay.
As an athlete.
Well, you need to be.
We'll do athlete and just non-athlete, but athlete first.
Okay. So of course, athlete first. You're all.
That's who we're here with.
I mean, what are we here for, right?
Back, as far as the diet, it needs to be low inflammatory diet.
Yeah.
You could just like what you said, you can have a vegetarian, vegan diet or all this stuff, but it can be trash and it can be inflammatory as heck. So. And that's one of the biggest things for aging. So as far as a athlete, there's a lot of similarities there, but adequate protein sources, adequate nutrient-dense food, you need adequate B vitamins and all these things, and it's best to get those primarily from food as much as possible. I mean, the supplements are one thing, but they're just a supplement, as you know, just from a normal diet. You can't out-supplement that. So that's number one. What are we doing for athletic performance? So number one, sleep. Sleep is a superpower, right? If you can't get sleep right, then forget the rest of it. Right. So whatever is inhibiting sleep, that needs to be optimized. And for my athletes, I really recommend, I wish I had stock in this company, but it's the 8 Sleep. And I think I talked to you about that before. A lot of professional athletes use that.
What is it?
8 Sleep. 8 Sleep.
I don't know.
It's a bed, right?
.com. So it's a pod cover or it's a bed. I mean, you can get the mattress or you can just get the pod cover.
I've never heard of this in my life.
You haven't? Well, you need to get one.
What is it called? The 8 Sleep?
Yeah, it's just called 8 Sleep.
It's
so
a bed.
EIGHT sleep.com. And I mean, I have one of these. I swear by it. Whenever I go on vacation, it's just not the same. But it dials in your sleep to where you get cooler amounts of sleep in the first half of the night, so your deep sleep will be improved and enhanced, and then it warms up a little bit towards the second half of the night, and it's still cool depending on your temperature.
Yeah.
So, and if you have a king size bed, they can partition halves or whatever. Right. So it gets the right temperature because you have to go dormant for deep sleep, right? So you need that sleep for regeneration, for optimal performance the next day. So, I mean, there's like Formula One drivers who use this. A lot of athletes use it.
Is it something? Is it an actual bed or is it an attachment that goes onto the bed?
Either or, you pay more, you get the whole thing, or you pay just for the pod cover. And so it's this thing that looks like a hard drive of a computer that's next to the bed that has a little bit of water in it. So not only does it cool you, but it makes measurements on you. So it checks your heart rate variability, it checks your respirations, how many times you toss and turn.
Wild.
So if you and it'll check your temperature as well. So if you say eat late at night or you have a few alcoholic beverages or whatever, that will trash it all, and you'll see that. And then you can optimize your behavior and the way you eat. Oh,
that's beautiful.
So yeah. So if I stop eating, if I don't eat 3 or 4 hours before bed, my sleep is so much better.
Really?
And then plus you can play into, if you meditate in the evening or if you, go on a calming wallet or.
I love that. I want to see it. So I was just talking to my best friend the other day, literally this weekend, about the Whoop.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
And I was wanting to get one of those.
Yeah.
And we were just diving into it. I was doing all the research about that because I am obviously I want to optimize my performance. That's not just on the court, that's in life. And so that's the sleep has always been my biggest thing. I've got to get my naps. I've got to get my, I don't play about my sleep. I get to bed, I wake up like clockwork. But I don't sleep that long. I don't have trouble sleeping, but I don't sleep very long. And so I've always wondered, am I not sleeping enough? I won't sleep more than 7 hours. I'm usually 6 or 7 hours. And a lot of people say, I was reading something the other day, elite athletes need 9 hours of sleep. I'm like, well, am I leaving something out there?
Like, no way.
Am I leaving something out there on the table? Is there something for me? You know what I mean? And so and so then I started looking into the Whoop, man. But I need to look into this, the eight
sleep.
8 sleep.
Yeah.
It'd
be fascinating.
That's crazy. I've never heard about it.
I didn't know you could get the pod cover.
Yeah, you can just get the cover.
It's cool.
And it has all the same stuff. The only thing different with the mattress is that you get the mattress with it.
Right. Yeah. That's cool.
Okay. So what else are we doing? So we're optimizing sleep, we're optimizing nutrition. Those are obviously the two key factors. What else?
So recovery.
Yeah.
I mean, as you know, with training and stuff, the training is important, but the recovery is just as important. Adequate supplements, but that comes secondary from nutrition.
And can I ask about that as well? So I'm the guy that supplements, do they work? Do they not work? I don't know. I'll take them because I'm supposed to take them.
Yeah.
But which ones to take, when to take them, how many to take? Can somebody help? Does anybody know? Do you know anything? Do you know anything? Can somebody help me talk about this?
I love this.
Please, what supplements do we need to be taking?
I mean, the only thing you cannot get from food is vitamin D.
Okay.
Like that is the only thing that you like. It doesn't even exist in food.
Right.
So everything else, I think it depends on, and Dr. White might have a different opinion, so we can duel it out here. But I think it depends on your blood work. Like I would never just go to the store and start taking a supplement because you saw it online and it looks good and people raved about it. I think that's silly. But if my blood work shows like, oh, I'm deficient in this, then okay, can I adjust my diet? Can I do something to get it? If not, or if it's hard or whatever, sure, I'll supplement with it for a short period of time and then kind of move on. So but I'm really like, I think supplements should be there for a season.
You're the restaurant owner. You don't do supplements. You do food.
I do food.
Okay, you don't sell supplements.
We sell
food.
some, yeah.
Do you?
Yeah. We sell some like
what do you sell?
Like aloe vera juice and chlorophyll.
Yeah, okay.
Chlorella for like people like the plant-based eaters, like anyone who's not eating animal protein to get your B vitamins and iron. Chlorella is a good one.
See, I need to.
So yeah, stuff like that, but not like, I don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's a lot out there, but Dr. White can answer
that.
Too.
And and that's why I'm glad I had both of you, because there's obviously common knowledge, but there's also discrepancies between athletics, high performing people who are putting their body through it, and then people who are just, getting 10,000 steps a day, and neither one is good or bad. It's just different. You have to adjust to your lifestyle. And so you're more dealing, you've dealt with higher level athletes and the need, the need on the body. So what is it that we need to be replenishing our bodies with?
So professional athletes, first off, there are 4 things. If you aren't checking anything or whatever, then there are 4 supplements that I really recommend if you're just off the street or somebody asks me at a restaurant or whatever. And it's omega-3s, D3, adequate B vitamins, and magnesium. Those 4 things.
Omega-3, D3, magnesium, and adequate B vitamins?
Yeah, B vitamins. So that can often be in a multivitamin, but it's in green leafy vegetables and all that. So we check an omega index, we check magnesium, we check D3 definitely. And I mean, we check these things on everybody. So we kind of know for our clients coming in, along with a ton of other things. But that's probably the core of it all, in my opinion. And magnesium requirements in athletes are more than your average Joe.
Yeah.
But you need all these for performance, for muscle enhancement, for beefing up VO2 max, all the things. But so those 4 things would be would be key. And I was going to say something else, but I forgot.
What? Let's move into what got you going in the nutrition field, like as far as in the business side. And
buckle up, buddy.
Here we go.
We don't have all day, so
Here we go.
I mean, my own personal health problems for sure.
Okay, which were?
If
you don't mind.
No, not at all. So I mean, it started just honestly just being sick all the time as a kid. Like growing up
As a kid.
How
old?
Like, I mean, elementary school, middle school, high school, all of that. But definitely starting in elementary school. Like I just remember, I remember drinking that really delicious pink antibiotic, the drink, what it was, amoxicillin or something. You know what I'm talking about? It tastes like bubble gum. It was delicious.
What she's talking about. That sounds gross.
You never had this as a kid?
I don't know. If you were drinking amoxicillin, it couldn't have tasted good.
It tasted
not a chance.
Good. I remember, I was drinking that stuff every month. Like I would always just have something, like whether it's strep or whether it was a flu. I was just like
sick.
always
battling
sick.
Something.
Yeah. And then the older I got, the worse it got. And then in early high school, like whenever I was 15, I think, I started having a lot of hormonal and like menstrual cycle imbalances that just didn't really make sense. So of course, going to the doctors, mom was trying to help, figured out nobody could really pinpoint. Like I was told that I, was infertile before I was even like out of high school. So it doesn't really make sense. Anyway, and then I always struggled with my weight. Like I was always up and down. You might remember that, but you would be polite and you wouldn't say it. But I always just struggled. And as a female, that's probably different. Like we probably have more pressure on ourselves, but always just bothered me. So then I had more serious digestive issues. I had like an impacted colon in high school.
Jeez.
I struggled with food. Like I became anorexic towards the end of my high school and early college. So I really wasn't eating. I had convinced myself I was eating, but so that's like a whole mental thing. Anyway, so the laundry list, like it just kept going and going and going. And then whenever I was 21 is when I was diagnosed with thyroid cancer. And so that, I'd already started eating plant-based by that point, but that really changed my perspective on life, on health overall, the mental health side, everything kind of all fell into a really nice purpose.
So for those of us who don't know, what does that look like? The thyroid, what does that look like?
So thyroid cancer, I hate to say this, but I'm not going to say that. It's not the worst of the cancers to have. That's what you don't really want to say that because so people said that to me like early on, and I'm
so
like,
you had
how dare
thyroid
you
cancer?
say that?
You have thyroid cancer?
I did.
You did?
Yeah, I'm fine now.
I didn't know that.
I'm good now.
I knew you. I thought that you had hyperthyroidism.
Oh.
Is that a thing?
Hypo or hyper. Yeah, that's a thing. That's a thing.
But that's not what you had.
No, I never did.
Okay, that's right. I knew thyroid. I didn't know you had thyroid cancer.
Yeah.
I hate to hear that. I'm sorry.
But I'm good now. And it was a blessing in disguise. It really was.
So what does that look like?
So I had to they had to take my thyroid out, and it had what is your thyroid and what does it do? So your thyroid is, I don't know if you can see my little scar somewhere in here. I can kind of feel it right
you do have
there.
A little scar, but you can't hardly see it.
So it's like the butterfly gland. It's in your neck, and it kind of looks like a butterfly is what they say. He would have like a technical term for it, but
no, that's fine. It's right here.
I can see it. It does. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, it's important for metabolism. It's off, T4 gets converted to T3, and people who are there's different reasons. They can be all kinds of different reasons, but it can really have an effect on you.
How does somebody? What affects? How does that happen? Did you have it from a young age?
So the specialist that I see now suspects that is what started when I was probably 15. Like when I first started having hormonal and menstrual cycle issues. Yeah. She thinks that was the first sign. Right. But nobody did an ultra. They would check my thyroid levels, like blood work levels, and everything was always normal. But nobody ever did an ultrasound to see the nodule, is what they call it, that grows on your thyroid when you have thyroid cancer. You can have a nodule and it doesn't have to be cancerous, but mine was. Right. But so because of how things progressed, like my specialist is convinced like that's when it started. We just didn't catch it until later. Right. But so yeah, it's different for everybody. I mean, some people could go to the doctor and find it.
So then you found out you had the thyroid cancer when you were 21.
I was 21, yeah.
Okay. And then what proceeded after that?
You mean like in that
so
specific
you
process?
you had surgery,
Yeah. So I actually went to England and did a microbiome transplant first. I'm telling you, we don't have all day for all this.
You're getting pieces of our coffee conversation.
Yeah. So because I had been struggling so bad with like my other health, I mean, before I knew I had thyroid cancer, I was going to a naturopathic doctor. Yeah. They told me so many things. I mean, they told me that my liver was failing, like my kidneys weren't doing well.
You were going to these doctors because you just didn't feel well.
Yeah, I mean,
you were just sick all the time. You didn't know what was going on. I'm just always sick. I need some help.
And I was swollen and I felt terrible.
Yeah, you just didn't. Nobody had an answer. We had no clue it was a thyroid. We didn't know what it was.
People kept telling me a number of different things, but nobody ever like found the core of it.
Right.
And I was taking every supplement. That's probably also why I'm like, supplements because like I took so many for so long and I'm like, oh God, I can't do it again. Yeah. But yeah, so I felt like I was trying it all, right? And we also get patients that are like that. They feel like they've done it all. They're doing all the right things. Nothing's working. You know what I mean? So
They're coming on 15 things.
Right, right.
Go ahead.
Yeah. So because they'd figured out that I had they called it leaky gut, and then I had celiac, whatever, or I guess I still probably do. I don't know. But they'd called it leaky gut. So I had some type of autoimmune condition, right? That was probably affecting my immune system. And my labs were super bad. Even though I was eating completely good, they just felt like, my body was attacking itself to some extent. So the first thing I did is I went to England and I did a microbiome transplant. And that is another word, a prettier word for fecal matter transplant. So
whoa, what does that mean?
So they clean out your intestines of all the bacteria. So like when you're born, right, you've got an ecosystem. You have like, everyone talks about gut health and how it affects your brain and your mind and everything.
Absolutely.
So you have like your own little ecosystem and
they just went and took it out and put somebody else's in there.
Basically, I had 10 donors.
Oh my
So like I had 10 different people's fecal matter. Like they obviously take out can I say a bad word on your podcast?
Say whatever you want.
They take out the shit, obviously, and then they just give you like the good bacteria. So they clean it out and then they implant into, so yeah, every day or every other day I would get an implant and then you'd have to like lay upside down because they want to like keep it in your body. And you'd have to eat
through it.
It was really fascinating.
Oh, God.
But I'm not kidding. Even just after that treatment, even before they took out my thyroid and the nodules that were cancerous, I felt so much better.
Really?
I mean, like I put on rings that I hadn't been able to wear in years because the inflammation was so bad.
Okay.
So yeah, so it was really quite the experience. So I did that. Then I had my thyroid taken out, and then I did radiation.
What's radiation?
It's something you do when you've got cancer, I guess.
Yeah.
I don't know how to explain it. He could give me the scientific
radiation to kill the tissue, like for cancer.
Yeah.
So they give her, you focus it on a specific area, whether it be a tumor or whatever.
Yeah.
So fast forward.
Yeah. Fast forward.
Feeling good.
Feeling great.
Healthy.
Yeah.
Got our running shoes on.
Yeah.
Came from running.
Yeah.
Active.
Yeah.
Healthy.
Yeah.
Nutrition on point.
Yeah.
Went and got a business.
All the things.
Now I'm selling food.
Now I'm selling smoothies.
Is that how?
Yeah, I mean, pretty much. That's pretty good timeline.
Then you walked into the business life, and so after that happened, you decided, man, I want to teach people how to eat correctly.
100%. Yeah.
And
have an option in Oklahoma City.
And you started cooking.
Yeah. So actually, like right after high school, before I ever went to college, I was a pastry chef for a plant-based restaurant. Mm-hmm. And my dad, growing up, had been a chef in his career. So I'd always grown up kind of cooking and around food. So I kind of fell in love with it earlier on. And then I tried to mold everything together.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Are you from here? Mm-hmm. You mentioned something about California.
Oh, I had a consulting group from over there. Yeah.
What have you noticed about health and nutrition in Oklahoma? You mentioned there's not that many healthy places to eat here.
Yeah.
What can we do? Why is that? How do we get to the healthy, being healthy, getting everybody out there to run some hills with us, wearing our Asics and starting to run club? How do we get Oklahoma healthy?
That's a good question.
You've got the restaurant. What's your restaurant called?
It's called Plant.
Plant.
It's in Midtown in Oklahoma City.
Okay. We used to have 2.
Yep, we used to have 2. Now we're down to 1.
Now we're back to just focusing all our energy at one spot.
And man, it's great.
Yeah, you love it?
Yeah, I do. I really do.
Yeah,
People
absolutely.
always want another one. I'm like, I've done that. I'm good.
We're
good.
Are you seeing? Do you notice the patients that come to see you? Are you noticing a trend in Oklahoma that, as far as the eating habits?
Yeah, people are more interested in taking control of their own health, and they need help. They want guidance in doing that. People are really stuck in a rut as far as, I mean, you got drive-throughs everywhere, right? The people who own the restaurant or the fast food chain that owns the restaurant, they don't care if you're inflamed. Right. They don't care if you live to be 50.
Right.
They don't care. And so to reframe the way we look at that and to see food as not just a filler, but as appropriate fuel. You wouldn't put water in your gas tank. You wouldn't put trash in there. So we just need to kind of reframe the way we look at it. And a lot of people are reframing the way they look at it. I thought when I opened up this practice that there wouldn't be that much interest. I wasn't sure, but there really has been. So it's been refreshing.
What was your call? How did you get into the field that you were in?
Well,
the performance and the longevity game and the health. I mean, how did you get into that specifically? That area. I mean, not a lot of people are concerned with VO2 maxes. Not a lot of doctors are concerned with that. How did you get that to be your expertise?
Sure. Yeah. Well, my interest was just from what I was seeing every day, and it's kind of like, I knew you were going to ask me something like this. So I thought, as I was driving over here, I thought, how could I explain that? It's kind of like if you went to a sushi restaurant, right? And you're sitting there and you're getting ready to order, and you see people, like some guy passes out over there and some guy passes out over, like dead, maybe. And you ask the waiter, what's going on? And they're like just taking the bodies to the back and putting them in the closet. No big deal. It's business as usual, right? Yeah. This may not come off like I want. But stick with me.
I'm following you. I'm following you. Go.
So the waiter acts like no big deal. I'm like, what's going on with these people? What, you just dragged 3 people back to a closet. And she goes, oh yeah, it's just because they ate the Philly roll. And I was like, just because they ate the Philly roll? And I'm like, yeah, but it's really good. I'm like, I don't want the Philly roll.
Right.
I don't want to go where these people are going. I don't want to be back in the closet in a pile of. So what I was seeing every day, and I worked in the emergency room in different 25 years or whatever. But so it was just over and over and over seeing what life is like in that marginal decade, that last 10 years. And sometimes the 10 years is in somebody's 50s or it's in their 80s or whatever. And it can be some trash years. Mm-hmm. And then looking at some of my family who were, who I share genes with, who were older than me and how, what their lives are like in the last 10 years. And I just thought, I don't want that for myself. So it was really more for selfish reasons. And I thought, I'm going to go the complete opposite. And, doctors are the worst. The caregivers are the worst as far as, I'm making generalizations, but as far as the food, you go to the doctor's lounge and stuff, and there's Danishes and a soda machine and all that kind of stuff. And I just want a water, man. Can I just have a water? Yeah. And so all that stuff is hopefully changed with the culture change over the years, I hope. But so it was more for me, and then it developed into what it is today.
Yeah, wanting to help. I think that having that calling, that purpose is kind of what makes you what makes you the personable to be able to relate to people, is because you really care about them. You want to help them get better. It's not, doctors obviously have great careers and things like that, but this is not a money grab. It's a service, right? And I think that's where the value is. You talked about having your, the thyroid not the hypothyroid cancer. But what was that like for you mentally? How did that take a toll on you mentally? And I know from a young age, even looking back when you were sick and you're thinking, man, I was sick and I was miserable. I couldn't figure it out. I didn't know what was going on. Nobody was telling me. Yeah. When you think about those times, what was your mental state like? How has it evolved? Has it gotten better? Has it gotten worse? Have you grown with it? How has that journey been?
I mean, yeah, I would say when I was the sickest, like in the worst of the days, there was probably a period of a year-ish where I was very depressed, like did not want to leave the house. My sister and brother-in-law were MVPs. They took care of me. I mean, they like did everything. But yeah, I mean, I was super depressed because I didn't know, like I'd look in the mirror and like, that's not me. Like I mean, truly I was so swollen. Yeah. It's just like you had like I don't know, a huge disconnection, right? Yeah. There was a huge disconnect between who I thought I was and what my life was, what my current experience of life was. Mm-hmm. So yeah, that was really tough. But honestly, and this might sound crazy, but the day that I was diagnosed with cancer was like the best news.
Because like I know what's wrong. Is that what was that
and
it?
I think absolutely. Like yes, you have answers. Yes, you find out, but also I don't know. There was just this clarity that came to me. Because when I was depressed and when I was going through it and I didn't know what was wrong, I always thought that it was my thyroid, but nobody could ever tell me that.
Really?
And I remember like journaling and writing things like somebody just needs to take it out. Like I know that this is the problem.
Really?
Whatever. And I remember telling my dad over and over and over, like they're not catching it. Like something is there and they're just not getting it. But there was just like this. There's a battle, right? Because when you're going to a professional, when the doctors are supposed to be the ones who know,
that's so and you're not, frustrating.
So it was just a really, really crazy experience. But I do think, and I think just if anyone is ever diagnosed with cancer, it doesn't matter what kind, it doesn't matter the prognosis, you probably have a moment of perspective, like this moment of like calm where everyone around you, like I remember the chaos of my family and everyone like wanting to make sure, you know, what's the treatment going to be? Yeah. What's the like, are you sure going to be okay? You know what I mean? Like everyone is going around doing their own thing. And I remember just sitting back and I was like, if we're going to be here on this earth, like what am I going to do with my time? And what do I want my life to look like? And like, it was just a very like,
coming to
you
started so like thinking and really having to
so like my priorities in life are very different now than they were before. Everything just kind of shifted in a good way for me,
and that's that's just perspective. That's all it is, because you could have easily taken that to the other side and just been like, why me? This is the worst thing that's going on. I hate this. You could have took it and went that way. Yeah. But you took it with the positive light and said, you know what? Okay, now I'm happy. Now I know what's going on. I can figure it out. Everybody, let's just calm down. Yeah. I'm at peace now. Where do I want to go with my life? Yeah. Clarity.
Yeah.
You know, I can see clearly now.
Yeah.
And so, I think so often, especially when you're dealing with mental health, those are the times when you come to is the times when you're at your lowest. You're at zero. You're like, man, I don't know where to go. You see just a little light and then you follow that light, and that becomes your story. And I think that's beautiful. You were able to just rewrite your story and rewrite everything behind your whole situation. And I think that's commendable right there.
It's been real.
I've known somebody else with a thyroid issue. You probably know her, but she's also a woman. Now, my question to you is that more prevalent in women? Are thyroid conditions or issues more prevalent in women? Do we know that? Do we know?
Yeah, I think so.
I think the statistics would say yes.
I've only known women. I've only known women with thyroid issues. I've never known a man with a thyroid issue.
It's more common with women.
I think I only know 2 men that have been like, one was a friend and one was a patient at your office, I think.
Yeah.
But those are the only 2 men I've ever seen.
Yeah, it's less common. But men have thyroid papilloma cancers and different things. So it does happen.
Huh.
I would be curious to wonder as to why.
Yeah.
Yeah. Now, are you people that are coming to you dealing like they're coming for performance? Do you see any mental health cases come in as well? Do you see anybody that, I mean, I guess it's hard to say. They're coming in for performance. They're not like, man, let me tell you about my life. Yeah. But I'm sure you see some of that.
No, I mean, we get pretty deep. It's an hour and it's a relationship, and it's different than your average doctor's office visit. But as far as mental health, this is one thing that surprised me a lot is the anxiety piece of it. And we may have talked about this before, but one of the things that surprised me is that, and I told this to a guy just the other day, it was so debilitating to him. And this was just earlier this week. Great guy. But as I told him that there are a lot of other guys going through the same thing in your same position. And these are guys who are, from the outside, they're professional. They have great marriages, kids, the whole deal. They've got it all together. But in the dark spaces of being by themselves, they're coming apart because it's just debilitating.
As far as their body, like, are they coming to you because of performance, and then the fact that they can't reach where they're going is mentally putting stress on them? Is that what you're saying?
No. I mean, some of these guys that I'm thinking about right now are in their 30s and 40s, and just crushing it. Yeah. From all whatever your definition of success is, but then, in the quiet times, they can't handle it. Their sleep is trash. Like this guy has been losing weight, and usually he's very athletic and in great shape and everything. And it's just
like the pressures of the stress of their life, you mean?
Yeah. Well, you would think there's no pressure, right?
Yeah. Right.
For him, because he loves his job.
Yeah.
Just doing fantastic.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's just there are other things that aren't quite right in the mental game.
Yeah.
They're dealing with underlying issues, whether it's relationships or whatever.
Yeah. And you talked about like sleep, or and that's when we talk about sleep or nutrition and different things. If you don't have those things in line, your mental is going to pay for it. I mean, like you said, he could be killing it. If he's not sleeping, he's gonna feel terribly inside. If he's not eating right, he's going to feel terribly inside. Yeah. And so those things are like just levers that you got to keep up. You've got to keep kind of, nutrition, making sure it's tight, optimizing your sleep. And when you're at the high level, it's like you may not be able to, you're traveling until 3 a.m. and then you've got to get up at 8 a.m. And then it's like your whole sleep is done. And how do you fight back? What are you doing? What are the things you're doing? And that's kind of where you get into the whole mental aspect of performance optimization, is realizing, okay, how do I, because like for us as athletes, man, we'll travel, we'll play, and we'll travel, and we'll be traveling all through the night and get home at 5 a.m.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And it's like, okay, well, now your sleep is finished. So what are you going to do? And how you really got to like dial it in. And so we go and make sure we're seeing our nutritionists, and make sure we're seeing our performance, doctors or whatever they are, to make sure that we're optimizing those sides of it. So that's why I wanted to have you two here, because those two, I mean, being plant-based for 8 years, the nutrition side for me is just the most.
Is it 8 years now?
Going on 9.
Wow, Obi.
Going on 9, yeah.
Not looking back.
I'm glad you guys are here, man, because
That's
I need to start talking to you more. I forgot.
Let's hang out.
I do need to see you more about nutrition, because being an athlete, you have to have people on your team who are looking at those things specifically closer than you are, because we have a lot of things that we're worried about and juggling, and we can't focus all our time on our nutrition and our sleep and on our making sure we're taking the right supplements and making, all that stuff. And so, I want you guys, can you guys please leave your contacts to them to reach out to you guys if that's possible?
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, for connections. Talk to the camera. The camera's right there. Yeah.
Well, you do your website.
primehealthassociates.com is our website, and my Instagram, Kevin White MD. There's ways to reach me, but yeah.
My website is emma-ryan.com, and I'm Emma Ryan VC on Instagram.
And before we get out of here, ladies and gentlemen, I want to ask you guys a question that we ask all our guests before we close out. It's real simple.
Do tell.
How do you practice self-love? We'll start with you.
To me, by self-care.
What does that look like?
Like for me, the first thing, like for me, every morning, like I've got to do something for myself in the mornings. Like morning is like kind of my time. He knows I don't like to go to the office too early. But really, I mean, really and truly, like I've got to exercise. I want to read my book for a little bit, or like make my tea, sit outside with my dog. Like,
what do those things do for you?
Oh,
what do they do for your
peace.
mental?
Yeah.
Bring you peace.
Yeah. I mean, just, it's like downloading, taking stress away, like getting perspective, just taking a minute to just like
calm the mind.
Yeah.
Be
and not
present.
worry about all the things of the day that's going to bring.
Absolutely.
So yeah, I got to start my day for myself.
Absolutely. Doc?
She kind of stole a little bit of my. No, it's really how you start the day. Even sleep hygiene. Sleep's important, but I tell people the sleep hygiene really starts first thing in the morning.
Absolutely.
So in the morning, don't pick up the phone. Get up, do your meditation, sit outside for a while, and just ground yourself. And then from that, I mean, there are other things, but that's probably the biggest thing, because then I can reach back to that meditation period throughout the day as I learn, as I am hit with different stresses, and I can deal with that. So that, and then, hitting the gym right after that.
I love that. Yeah. The meditation. I love that.
That's good.
Guys.
What about yours?
What do I do?
Yeah.
Man, he stole it. He stole it, actually. You stole his, he stole mine.
Right.
Because the truth about it is I wake up every morning and I like to get outside.
Yeah.
So I'll get up about, anywhere between 4:30, 5:30. I get outside, go sit down and just sit there.
Yeah.
Sometimes, I lied. A lot of times I take my laptop out there and I'm on my computer. But I like to get outside, get first light, and that's my main thing. And then I'm always looking out for myself as far as taking care of my mental. I'm trying to, exercise. Obviously, that's one. I'm eating right. I'm affirming myself. I'm always, trying to plant the right seeds in my mind, and of being positive and being a servant and helping others. I think that's kind of that's what gives me my energy, is to be able to just be there for other people and help. And I'm not saying that I'm just the most talkative and the most outgoing person, because I also love my me time. But practicing self-love for me looks a lot like helping other people and just being there for other people in acts of service. That's kind of how I show myself that I care, is by taking care of other people.
That's awesome.
That's kind of how I do it, and having conversations and smiling and laughing and just trying to bring good energy to whatever space I'm in. I think that to me is self-love.
Yeah, that's cool.
Guys, thank you guys so much for tuning in with us. You'll be able to catch this episode. We'll put it up on YouTube, Spotify, Apple, wherever you get your podcast. So Emma, Doc, thank you guys so much for coming on here, sharing your experiences with us, and we'll see you guys next week.
Thanks, man.
Thanks for having us.
Peace.